Sarah Willson on 18 News, your local news leader.
If you haven't had the chance to come out and vote yet, there is still time. Polls are open until 8 o'clock tonight. Good afternoon, Jackie. It's been pretty quiet here at GTP since I got here around 11 o'clock this morning, but officials say that was not the case as of around 9. New York State is slated to have 2 separate primaries. That's relatively unusual. Even though inflation is at a 40-year high, Americans are still spending, going out to eat, still fueling up to go places, and still traveling. The roads right now a little bit better than they were this morning. They are starting to get a little messy again with that snow coming down. There are some slick spots. The Senate vote comes on the heels of that leaked Supreme Court draft opinion that suggests the High Court is poised to overturn Roe v. Wade. It's not just the price of food that's rising. Takeout containers like this one are also increasing in cost. A lot of families say they won't be taking to the skies this summer, but they do plan on hitting the road despite those high gas prices. Up over 13% in just the past 7 days alone. But why are we the ones seeing the increase? Under the special master's map, our district, the 23rd, looks different. Good evening, Rhea. It has been a busy week at Canisteo Greenwood Middle School as both staff and volunteers gear up to welcome new students to their temporary home. Good evening, Kevin. The crowded Republican field for Pennsylvania's governor just got a lot smaller. And this is a crisis that's been building for months and seemingly became worse overnight. Andrew Cuomo may not be running under a major party, but that doesn't mean he's out of the race. Nearly a dozen women have come forward saying the governor sexually harassed them. Schools say they're ready if that happens, but businesses, on the other hand, are growing frustrated by that possibility. Thousands of companies are looking to bring new workers on board. The number of alleged child abuse and neglect cases in Steuben County was much higher than the DA expected. It's still unclear which congressional candidate is running in which district. Good evening, Twin Tiers. I'm Sarah Willson. Thank you for joining us for 18 News at 6. We begin tonight with breaking news coming out of Buffalo, New York. There is new information about the devastating communication breakdown during the mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. Families in dire need wondering what is next, but there is some hope. The government yesterday invoking the Defense Production Act from your local election headquarters. New York's redistricting maps have finally been submitted for approval. We begin tonight in Albany. That's where Governor Kathy Hochul announced she has tested positive for COVID-19. The big story tonight, a Southport Correctional Facility, a major maximum security prison, will be closing their doors in just a few months. Arnett Mall is back open after it was temporarily locked down yesterday. June is Pride Month, which means celebrations are happening all across the country, including right here in the Southern Tier. If you are just joining us, President Biden addressing the nation on the fight against the coronavirus. The president saying it will take a couple of weeks to understand how the Omicron variant reacts to the current COVID shot. A British charity is searching for people to spend 5 months in Antarctica to run the world's most remote post office. And Anna and I will be signing up after the show. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo potentially making a comeback.
I don't want Andrew Cuomo back, believe me.
The 3-term disgraced Democrat launching ads that appear to look like campaign commercials.
5 counties have declined to press charges. And this essentially ends the investigation against Cuomo with no charges filed.
Cuomo reluctantly left office last year, denying multiple sexual harassment allegations, despite a report from his own party that says the 11 women who made claims against him were credible.
He's just, he's deranged.
The former governor has not ruled out or confirmed if he's joining the gubernatorial race, but if he does run, he's running out of time.
He has approximately 2 weeks left to get, probably 20,000 signatures. I'm just not sure it could be done in that period of time.
That, Moss and other Republicans agree, could be to their advantage. If Cuomo doesn't get those signatures, he would have to create his own party, running against current Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul.
Certainly he'll have the ability to divide the vote, and that can certainly be helpful to our Republican candidate for governor.
In a theoretical Democratic primary, Cuomo would take home 33% of the vote, Hochul 37%.
I know he said God isn't finished with him yet. I think New Yorkers are done with him.
Democrats appear to be done with him too.
I'm not entertaining hypotheticals. I have a number of opponents who declared. I'm not focused on who may run, who may not run. I've got a job to do.
For 18 News, I'm Sarah Willson. For Stephanie Feely, it was a morning just like any other. She had clocked in for her shift at Shannon's Family Barber in Wayland and had just started coloring a client's hair. Everything was normal until just after 11. That's when something unimaginable happened. Stephanie heard about a fire ripping through town. A volunteer firefighter herself, she went in back to listen to her scanner.
And when I came out here, I immediately started shaking. I still had a client in the chair that needed color.
That's when she looked up, saw smoke, and sprang into action, running into the burning building in a desperate bid to save anyone inside.
One of my clients lives over there with her daughter and her son, and they were asking for help. They couldn't get down the hallway because it was too full of smoke, so we brought them out from the ladder.
Across the street, the barber shop was trying to help too, welcoming in frightened families. Amazingly, no one was hurt, though some pets were unable to escape.
There was one little boy who was sobbing because his dog was left.
Businesses and apartments also severely damaged. You can tell just by the scene behind me that it's more than just the exterior of this building that was damaged by the fire. Those flames impacting businesses as well as apartments and of course those inside them. Now this community is really trying to pull together to help those who lost everything rebuild. The United Methodist Church taking donations for those impacted. The Red Cross also putting displaced families in hotels. But there's plenty more help where that came from.
I know that there have been a couple of different people who have offered, oh, well, you can stay with me, or if you don't have anywhere, I know you can stay here.
Within minutes, everybody was already stepping up to help the people and businesses that were affected.
Stepping up just like Stephanie did.
I didn't think twice about it because people need help. I would hope that if I needed help, someone would stop what they're doing to help me.
Reporting in Wayland, New York, I'm Sarah Willson. Even though the federal mask mandate on mass transit was struck down, there's still confusion about if, when, and where Americans need to wear one. While in most states they're not required on planes, trains, Ubers, and Lyft, New York says not so fast.
We watched for variants, they come, and now we're starting to see cases and hospitalizations go up.
Governor Kathy Hochul announcing New York's mask mandate will stay in place short term.
It reduces everyone's viral footprint.
Doctors are on board. The CDC and health experts at home supporting the move as COVID cases rise.
If you're in close quarters with individuals in, say, a situation where you can't really get out, leave, like a mass transit system, that's the time you would probably say that mask wearing has the most benefit.
But Governor Hochul's announcement is leaving some counties confused. So if I hop on a bus in Steuben County, do I have to wear a mask?
The answer is I am not sure, honestly, candidly. I just do not know.
In some cases, mask mandates or the lack of them aren't at the county's discretion.
In cases where the state licenses a sector or a business, they certainly can impose regulations or requirements upon them. That's not the county's role.
But when it comes to masking up on mass transit, health experts say
it's a simple and easy way to prevent spread of infection rapidly.
For 18 News, I'm Sarah Willson.